Enjoy the frickin' presentation! Dilly the duck had been protecting her egg from harm for weeks. One day it finally hatched, revealing a little duckling. A mallard duck, in fact. The station master, witnessing the whole thing, was very pleased. "My girl has a son to take care of now," he said in awe. Then he spent the next few minutes thinking about what to name the newborn duckling. It was certainly a challenge to come up with a good name for him. Donald came to the station to see what Dilly was up to and was astonished to see that she has a newborn son standing by her side. "Oh, that duckling is so wonderful!" cried Donald. He could hardly contain his excitement. "How would you like to take her for a ride?" asked the station master. "Oh, hi! I'd be delighted to," said Donald kindly. So Dilly and her newborn son walked into Donald's cab and he set off down the line. At the junction, Henry was taking on water, preparing himself for his delivery of timber to the mill. Donald whistled a greeting. "Oh!" said Donald. "Guess what?" "What is it?" asked Henry curiously. "Dilly the duck's egg hatched, and now she has a newborn son." "Wow!" exclaimed Henry. "That's excellent news." As they talked about their own plans, Dilly's newborn son let out a few quacks and started to waddle. "Oh, that's my conductor. I must get going now," said Henry. "This timber ain't gonna deliver itself." With that, Henry puffed away, unaware that Dilly's newborn son had creeped into his cab. As Henry came up over Gordon's Hill with his load of timber, something unexpected happened. "Whoa!" shouted his driver. "What is that?" Henry could see that there was something wrong, so he stopped after the next station. "What's wrong, driver?" Henry's driver stared at the floor of the cab. "I don't believe it!" he exclaimed. The newborn duck had been standing in Henry's cab the entire time. The fireman carefully held the duckling in his hands and walked toward Henry. "Check it out!" he laughed. "This little duckling wanted to go for a ride in your cab." "Why, bless me," said Henry. "This must be the newborn duckling that Donald told me about. We need to get him back to his mother, and fast." "Right you are, Henry," agreed the driver. So the fireman telephoned the station, and minutes later, Donald arrived to collect the newborn duckling. "Oh, why hello there, little guy," called Donald. And then Henry told him what happened. "Well, I suppose he had a wonderful ride, didn't you, Sprinkles?" Donald's driver laughed. "I like that name. Let's see what the station master back at Tidmouth Hault thinks." When Donald returned to the station, his crew told him what happened and what the duckling's name should be. Sprinkles, the station master thought. What a nice name! Henry and Donald whistled to the duckling. Welcome to the island of Sodor, Sprinkles! One day, Thomas was at the top station preparing for his return to the big station. His driver and fireman stood beside his cab talking to the conductor who had brought startling news. "Did you know the station master was robbed last night?" he asked. "Oh, you gotta be kidding me!" exclaimed the driver. "I didn't know he had anything that would be worth stealing." "He's won cups for gardening," explained the fireman. "All taken! And then the fools had the guts to pinch his car to carry them away in!" "Not that new one he's so proud of," said the driver. The conductor nodded, and when the signal dropped, Thomas's crew got into the cab, and the conductor hopped straight in the car bell. And then Thomas set off to the big station. As he puffed down his branch line, Thomas noticed a flash of color on the road ahead. He was very intrigued and tried to catch up to the mysterious figure. "Steady, Thomas," said his driver. "There's plenty of time." "No, it's not that," panted Thomas. "I saw what looked like a car speed along the road, and it might be the station master's. Can we get a closer look at it?" "Lots of cars look like that," laughed his driver. But he opened the regulator and began to draw level. There were two men in the car, and one of them saw Thomas was gaining up on him. "Oh no!" one of them said. "He's onto us! Floor it!" The car then sped off. "Oh, that's the car all right, Thomas," said the fireman, "and those two must be the thieves. They'll be long gone before we reach the junction." "Okay, here's what we're gonna do," promised the driver. "We'll need a pencil, paper, and something to put a note in. We'll throw the message out at the next signal box." Quickly, he wrote the note and they put it in the fireman's empty lunchbox. Then, drawing ahead of the car, Thomas whistled to attract the signalman's attention. "Police!" By the time Thomas rattled through the junction, the car had gone well ahead, and Thomas didn't see it again. The good news was that the police were indeed called, and the thieves were soon stopped by a roadblock 10 miles further on. "Hey, you!" Later, Sir Topham Hatt came to see Thomas and gathered his engines and staff. He thanked the driver and fireman for their quick thinking and made a speech. A long time ago, he said, Thomas has shown us how valuable he is to the smooth running of my railway. I'm sure you'll all agree that today he has once again proved himself to be a real useful engine. The engines whistled in chorus and gave 3 cheers for the GOAT, the greatest of all time, to their number 1 hero.